Cebu, His Excellency Jose Palma. Your Excellency,
thank you so much, Supreme Knight. Your Eminences, Your Excellencies, Supreme Knight Carl Anderson, and dear sisters and brothers in the happy and big family of the Knights of Columbus. On behalf of the 128 bishops who are members of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, and in solidarity with 2,500 councils with more than 300,000 members of the Knights of Columbus, please correct the data that was inputted, that was wrong. So 2,500 councils and more than 300,000 members of the Knights of Columbus in the Philippines. I feel privileged to participate in this 131st Supreme Convention and to greet you all, mabuhay. When I think of the many projects, educational and relief assistance, social welfare, and other expressions of charitable works rendered as expressions of solidarity and service, I thank the Lord for the gift of Father McGivney and for the Knights of Columbus. As the Pope says, El Gran Poder es Servicio, and this is service in its pure form. I personally thank the Knights of Columbus in the Philippines for their support in the Philippine Church, especially their participation during the canonization of our second saint, San Pedro Calong Sud, last 21st of October last year, and also the Thanksgiving Mass in Cebu, which gathered more than 1 million people, 1.2 million people last November 30. The Knights of Columbus members certainly were a great help. This past years also the KC Fraternal Association has been consistently supporting the Catholic Bishops' Conference apostolate with a 10 million pesos Seed of Hope Fund, which gives us 1 million a year. Thank you, KC Paki. In a special way, we find the Knights of Columbus most zealous in the defense for life and in our advocacy for the protection of marriage, especially in the Philippines, where reproductive health law has been approved. CBCP and KC are united as protectors of God's gifts. Hence today our strong opposition against the RH bill. We uphold the state cannot function as protector of the unborn on the one hand, and as the source of contraception on the other. It cannot be the protector and the preventer of conception at the same time. At the stage, we thank that the Supreme Court has given their decision not to implement yet the law. With the KFC, we look forward to celebrating the 51st International Eucharistic Congress come 2016, January 25 to 31 that year. With the theme, Christ in You, our hope of glory, we believe there is even more reasons to be hopeful. This early, I would like to invite you to the Philippines in January of 2016. Likewise, we are preparing for the 5th centenary of the coming or the advent of Christianity in the Philippines. The first baptism, the first Mass were held in Cebu, and of course, the image of Santo Niño was a gift to the Queen who was baptized. 2021, please consider visiting the Philippines. Finally, I would like to assure you of our prayer for support in the cause of the beatification of Father McGivney. I mentioned about the canonization of our San Pedro Calungsod, because my prayer today is, may we witness sooner than we expect the canonization of one great man, our founder, Father McGivney. We also support the beatification of Father George Willman, who is referred to as the Father McGivney of the Philippines, because of his selfless dedication for the growth of the order. He spent 44 years of his life to reach out and serve the poor, the sick, the orphans, the desolate in spirit, and of course in the spirit of charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism. According to one KC member, one major accomplishment of Father Willman is bringing back of prominent persons in the government who became Masons to be active again in the Knights of Columbus. As we face the future confronted with poverty, unemployment, and threats to peace, we put our trust in the Lord. Together with Pope Francis, we declare, as was quoted by our Supreme Knight, and now we take up the journey, Bishop and people, the journey of the Church of Rome, which presides in charity over all churches, a journey of fraternity, of love, of trust among us. Let us always pray for one another. Let us pray for the whole world, that there may be a great spirit of fraternity and God. Vivat Jesus.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Our keynote speaker this evening